plan is bad for business, and I agree. Today we're diving into a hot topic. Kevin O'Leary, the one from Shark Tank, one of the sharpest minds in business, recently pointed out that Kamala Harris's tax plan is terrible for business. And you know what? I have to totally agree with him. Her tax proposals are nothing short of a disaster for the economy. Stick with me because we're going to break down exactly why this is bad news for entrepreneurs, developers, and businesses like yours. Let's dive in. All right, welcome to StartupHakk. I'm Spencer Thomason. Here at StartupHakk, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and building custom software solutions for folks. I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO with over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development. I've mastered the art of transforming technology, teams, and products. All right, so let's get right into it. Kevin O'Leary has been very vocal about the negative impact that Kamala Harris's tax plan would have on the economy, and he's not wrong. The plan is essentially an attack on entrepreneurship and free enterprise. Higher taxes means less capital for businesses to invest in growth. And let me tell you, as someone who spent 25 years building companies, I can assure you that when you stifle business growth, you stifle job creation. So how exactly does this plan hurt software developers and businesses like StartupHakk? Well, we're going to break that down. So we've already seen the damages done under the Biden administration. His policies have led to rising inflations, supply chain issues, and increased costs for small businesses. And guess what? Kamala's tax plan is more of the same. Higher corporate taxes mean that companies, especially small startups, will struggle to expand. For software developers, this translates to fewer opportunities, fewer startups, and fewer chances to innovate. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather see policies that encourage growth, not try to choke it. So I just think this is more of Biden's economic policies version 2.0, and they hurt businesses. Now, Kamala has made it clear that her tax plan will take a heavy toll on businesses and individuals. She hasn't even danced around this. The proposed increase in corporate taxes will hit tech companies hard. And if you're a software developer, you should worry about that. Companies will have less money to invest in R&D, hiring, and just keeping the lights on. That's fewer coding jobs, fewer development projects, and slower innovation. O'Leary calls this an unmitigated disaster, and for a reason, because it is an unmitigated disaster. Kamala's tax plan is a recipe for disaster, and she's somebody who has absolutely never run any kind of business, so she is definitely the last person I would trust on any kind of business advice. Now, let's not forget Kamala's track record. When she was Attorney General of California, her policies were anti-business then, and guess what? Nothing's changed. She's still bad for business, and her tax proposals are proof of that. Businesses can't grow under such oppressive tax rates. When businesses suffer, the whole economy suffers. We need leadership that believes in the power of capitalism, not policies that punish it. So Kamala's track record is bad for business then, and it's still bad for business. Now, contrast that with Trump, who clearly understands how capitalism fuels the economy. Under his leadership, business had room to breathe, innovate, and grow. This is what led to one of the strongest economic periods that we've seen in recent history. Lower taxes, less regulations. These are the policies that promote growth, jobs, and innovation. It's not rocket science, folks. When businesses thrive, the economy thrives. And that means more opportunities for software developers, entrepreneurs, and everyone in between. Now, if you think I'm just pro-Trump, I'm pro-capitalism. That's what I'm trying to point out here. I'm pro-capitalism. I like a guy like Elon Musk for his capitalistic views. When we look at the things that Elon Musk is saying, he is desperately worried that if we don't get a president that is pro-capitalism, that the country is in trouble from a financial perspective. AAA has threatened to pull our credit if we don't get our spending under control. And I'm looking to guys like Musk and people like Kevin O'Leary who know business. I'm not talking about just like straight up just blindly trusting Trump. I'm looking at the person who's going to be better for capitalism. I am pro-capitalism. Now, let's face it, higher taxes. Oh, and one last point on that. When Trump was in his presidency, we saw the lowest inflation in the last 20 years was those 4 years that he was in as president. And those are hard facts to deny. So again, I'm not pro-Trump, I'm pro-capitalism. And right now, that means a vote for Trump. So let's face it, higher taxes means fewer jobs. When companies are forced to hand over more of their revenue to the government, they have less to spend on hiring, training, and developing new talent. In the software industry, where innovation is king, this is especially damaging. Developers want to work on cutting-edge products, but those projects need funding. When companies have less cash to work with, the first things that go are hiring budgets and R&D, and that means software developers. So it's a vicious cycle. So everybody out there who's frustrated by the current tech market, look at what produced this tech market. Look at what the tech market was the 4 years before. It was great, right? Hiring was high, wages were high. Look at the 4 years after. I like it. This seems like pretty simple math to me, right? So if you're a software developer and you want to have more opportunities, we've got to get back to a pro-capitalist market. Now, it's not just the big corporations that'll suffer. Startups and small businesses will feel the brunt of Kamala's tax policies. These are the lifeblood innovation of technology. She keeps saying the rich need to pay their fair share. Well, guess who's paying most of people's paychecks? Those business owners, the rich, as most people are calling them. Now, small teams pushing out innovative products won't survive if they're weighed down by crushing tax rates. I've seen this firsthand, how tight capital is when you're trying to get a business off the ground. And Kamala's tax plan will strangle these businesses before they even get a chance to succeed. We've seen this over and over again. So startups and small businesses are going to get hit really hard if Kamala gets her tax way. Now, when taxes rise, companies will look for cheaper alternatives, meaning jobs will likely go overseas. America's software industry, which has been a global leader, could lose its competitive edge if more companies outsource development work to countries with lower tax rates and operational costs. We want to keep jobs here in the U.S., growing the American economy and strengthening our job market. But Kamala's policies will push it to do the opposite and will push us to hire overseas. American jobs and competitiveness will take a hit. Now, here at StartupHakk, we love to train software developers, and part of this is because I love to keep those jobs here. I like to take and work with junior developers and to grow them so they can grow into becoming mid and senior level developers. This is an important thing for me. And so one of the things that's very difficult is when we're getting overly taxed as a corporation. This makes it extremely tough for a company to be able to take on a lot of junior developers. And I understand this as a reason why we have the tech market we have right now. If you raise taxes on companies, it's going to hurt this, and we will not be able to invest in American jobs. And here at StartupHakk, we're working really hard to build both sides, where we can both employ American workers as well as to train junior developers to be able to get into this amazing field of technology. So check us out, because StartupHakk.com trains coding boot camps, and StartupHakk.com/Spencer is where we work to grow our software consulting firm. Now, say what you want about Trump, but his policies are pro-business and pro-growth. At this point, I don't care about anything else about Trump right now. Like, I'm not like a huge Trumper. There's no Trump flag out my front door. But I'm pro-business, and I'm pro-growth, and I'm pro-capitalism. And that's what we need right now. Capitalism drives innovation, growth, and job creation. Lower taxes mean businesses can expand, hire, and take risks. I've seen it happen in real time. Under Trump's first presidency, we saw a boom in tech startups and job creation. Period. End of story. That is what we saw. You can try to argue that all you want, but that is what worked. And that's what will work again if we return to policies that support, not punish business. So I don't want to see this as a bipartisan issue. I want to see this as we've got to get U.S. Economy truly strong again. What we've seen with everything with the soft landing and everything right now, this is all artificial. It's all artificial because it was controlled by the Democrats pumping money into the economy, the Feds then having to counteract with higher interest rates than we have ever seen, and for as long as we've ever seen, and the largest inflation the country's ever seen over an extended period of time. And we keep saying, well, inflation's back under control. Nobody's looking at what happened over the last 4 years. If you average what happened to inflation over the last 4 years, it is by far the highest point of inflation that we've seen since the 70s. And that's not a time anybody wants to return to. So capitalism works, and that's what will work again. So if you're seeing this as a pro-Trump video, then whatever. I'm pro-capitalism. I'm pro-business. And that's why here at StartupHakk, we love to build systems for companies. We work for companies. I work to help build junior developers so that we can get inexpensive developers who are of high quality U.S. workers for companies, and then also to build software so that your company can work like a well-oiled machine. So check it out, startuphakk.com/Spencer, because we'd love to help out if we can help your company. Now, one of the most frustrating things about these high tax proposals is that they don't even solve the underlying problems, like national deficit. The truth is, you don't fix a deficit by taxing businesses in the ground. You fix it by growing the economy. When businesses thrive, they create jobs, increasing consumer spending, and yes, generating more tax revenue in the long run. We saw this again for the 4 years that Trump was in. Without stifling innovation, that's the best part. Kamala's plan is the exact opposite of what we need to reduce the deficit and grow the American economy. So the American deficit is a major concern. And when you hear people like Elon Musk calling this out, we need to listen to it. And Kevin O'Leary is talking about it. You've got all the pro business folks are talking about this. Now, I know there's some out there who are still backing Kamala. It's because they all have a special interest in what Kamala is doing. Why do you think these big banks like higher interest rates? Think about that for a minute. Why do you think the big banks are backing Kamala? Because they like high interest rates. That's good for a bank. So the most frustrating part about Kamala's tax plan is that it punishes success. If you're a small business that's growing, you're going to get hit hard. And if you're an entrepreneur taking risks to create something new, you're going to need to get taxed for your success. That's just wrong. It's not the American way. The American way, that term, the American dream, think about where that came from. It came from being able to reward somebody to be able to work hard and to be able to build something that they want, and they shouldn't be taxed to have to then pay back almost half of it. In America, we should be rewarding hard work, allowing people to hire, to be able to continue to build around those people who are successful, not punishing them with higher taxes and more government red tape. So Kamala's plan punishes hard work and success. Now, software developers and tech entrepreneurs thrive in environments where businesses are free to innovate and grow. Kamala's tax plan stifles that environment. We need policies that encourage investment into technology, R&D, and job creation here in the U.S. The way to do that, lower taxes, let capitalism work. When businesses are allowed to grow, they create opportunities for everyone, from junior developers starting their careers to seasoned pros building the next big thing. That's the future we should be betting on. So developers and tech entrepreneurs need a pro-business environment. So why I agree with Kevin O'Leary, at the end of the day, it's because he's right. Kamala's tax plan is bad for business, bad for developers, and bad for America. We need to bet on capitalism, innovation, and business growth to secure a strong future for our economy and our workforce. Let's not punish the success. Let's encourage it. By creating an environment where businesses can grow, we'll see more jobs, better innovation, and stronger overall economy. Now, what are your thoughts? I love to have a great, healthy debate. Please, somebody come and tell me where I'm wrong on this. But I love having a great, healthy discussion. So make sure you leave a comment down below and make sure to like and subscribe. Here at StartupHakk, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and to build custom software solutions. So reach out because we'd love to help. Hit the links down below or check out StartupHakk.com today. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.